Hello, and welcome back to Dimmer, the podcast where we talk about mental health in a gentle, honest, and down-to-earth way. If you listened to our first episode, you'll remember that we explored some of the common causes of stress in modern life. Stress, in many ways, is a signal that our body and mind are asking for change. But what happens when stress doesn't go away? When it lingers for weeks or months until you feel like you're running on empty? That's when stress can grow into something much heavier, something we call burnout. Today, we're going to talk about burnout, specifically the signs that show you might be experiencing it. Some of these signs are obvious, like exhaustion, but others are subtle and easy to ignore. My hope is that by the end of this episode, you'll be able to recognize the patterns in your own life or in the lives of people you care about and take the first step toward healing. So, take a deep breath, find a comfortable spot, and let's walk through this together. Let's start simple. Burnout isn't just feeling tired. It's not just having a bad week or needing a vacation. Burnout is a state of physical, emotional, and mental exhaustion caused by long-term, ongoing stress, often related to work, but not only work. Students can experience it, parents can experience it, even people who seem successful from the outside can experience it. The tricky thing is, burnout builds slowly. You don't wake up one morning and suddenly have burnout. Instead, it creeps in bit by bit, until one day you realize you're not the same person you were a few months ago. That's why recognizing the signs early is so important. The first and most common sign is constant exhaustion. This isn't the kind of tiredness that goes away after a good night's sleep. It's a deep, heavy fatigue that stays with you no matter how much you rest. You wake up tired. You go through your day tired. Even activities that used to give you energy now feel draining. Imagine waking up on a Saturday morning. Normally, you'd feel excited to meet friends or go out for a walk. But instead, all you want to do is stay in bed because the thought of moving feels overwhelming. That's not just being lazy. That's burnout whispering in your ear. Ask yourself, have I been feeling tired for weeks, not just days? If the answer is yes, this may be more than simple fatigue. The second sign is loss of motivation. Maybe you used to feel passionate about your work, your studies, or even your hobbies. But now it's hard to care. You do things because you have to, not because you want to. The spark is gone. This can be especially scary when it happens to something you once loved. For example, maybe you became a teacher because you loved inspiring young people, but lately just the thought of entering the classroom makes your stomach sink. Or maybe you loved painting, writing, or playing music, but you can't bring yourself to pick up the brush or pen anymore. When motivation disappears, it often leaves behind a sense of emptiness. If you find yourself constantly asking, "What's the point?" that's a red flag. The third sign of burnout is trouble concentrating. Your brain feels foggy. Reading a single page takes forever. You keep rereading the same email without processing it. Even simple tasks feel complicated because your focus slips away every few minutes. This isn't about intelligence. Burnout literally affects how our brain functions. Research shows that prolonged stress can reduce memory, focus, and problem-solving skills. It's like your brain is running on low battery and can't hold it charged. Have you ever sat at your desk for hours, but at the end of the day realized you barely got anything done? That's not just procrastination. That could be burnout clouding your mind. The fourth sign is emotional detachment. You might notice yourself becoming more negative, more cynical. Things that used to matter to you no longer spark any feelings. You feel disconnected from your work, from your relationships, even from yourself. Maybe you catch yourself saying, "I don't care anymore," even about things that once excited you. Or maybe you start avoiding people because you don't have the emotional energy to engage. This detachment is the mind's way of protecting itself.
When the stress feels unbearable, the brain sometimes shuts down emotions as a shield. But while it might feel like a coping strategy, it's also a warning sign of burnout. Burnout doesn't just live in the mind, it shows up in the body. Some people get constant headaches. Others experience stomach problems, muscle tension, or frequent colds because their immune system weakens. Sleep becomes irregular. Either you can't fall asleep at all, or you sleep too much but still wake up tired. Our bodies are deeply connected to our mental health. When you ignore emotional exhaustion, the body will often scream louder through physical pain or discomfort. If you've been going to doctors and the tests keep coming back normal, but you still don't feel well, burnout could be the hidden culprit. Another sign is the feeling of being ineffective, even when you're still working hard. You may find yourself doubting your abilities, questioning whether you're good enough, or feeling like you're failing, even when people around you tell you otherwise. It's as if burnout takes away the filter of self-compassion and replaces it with constant self-criticism. No matter what you do, it never feels like enough. Over time, this can lead to a deep sense of hopelessness. So why is it so important to recognize these signs? Because burnout doesn't just magically disappear on its own. If left unaddressed, it can lead to more serious mental health issues like depression or severe anxiety. It can damage relationships, reduce performance at work, and even affect physical health long term. Think of burnout like a warning light on your car dashboard. You wouldn't keep driving for hundreds of miles with that light blinking. You'd stop, check the engine, and take care of it. Your mind and body deserve the same attention. As we wrap up today's episode, I want you to pause for a moment and reflect. Do any of these signs feel familiar to you? Have you been constantly tired, losing motivation, struggling to focus, feeling detached, noticing physical symptoms, or doubting yourself more than usual? If so, please know this: you are not weak, and you are not alone. Burnout is not a personal failure. It's a human response to prolonged stress. Recognizing it is the first and perhaps the bravest step you can take. In our next episode here on Dimmer, we'll talk about practical strategies to cope with burnout and begin the journey of recovery. For now, I encourage you to be gentle with yourself. Take a small break today, even just 10 minutes to breathe, to walk, or to sit quietly without your phone. Thank you so much for listening to Dimmer. If you found this episode helpful, please follow the podcast and share it with someone who might need it. Until next time, take care of yourself, adjust your own dimmer, and remember that healing begins with awareness.